Hey everybody, and welcome back to the final part of the Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life 100% challenge. This video will be a little bit different from the others, as our list of things to do is much shorter than it was when we began on day 1. We need to grow and sell the S version of every crop and fruit, cook all 86 recipes, buy a brown cow, and do all the stuff that is time-gated. This includes seeing as many cutscenes as possible, acquiring some special items from villagers, finishing the dig site, and of course, finishing the game. With that being said, I noticed that there was no way I could have completed this challenge and made this video while streaming every day of the game before the remake comes out, so I made the executive decision to play the later chapters off stream. Don't worry though, you'll still see all the important events that happen in these later chapters. It's just that 99% of the time I was watering crops, taking care of animals, and running around looking for these cutscenes. We'll be skipping a good chunk of days multiple times in this video as we fast forward through those grindy parts that I mentioned, so be prepared for jumps of 30 to 40 days at some points, as some of them are just not worth mentioning. So grab a snack, relax, and enjoy as we finish Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. We begin on day 121 as we head into chapter 3. It appears that Kay is interested in becoming an artist, and his beautiful drawing shows that he has the potential to be the next Picasso. Kay looks like he's about 8 to 9 years old now, and he's running around town and doing some fishing down by the swamp. Of course, he needs his own room now, so our house gets a nice upgrade. I think his room might even be better than ours. After selling some seeds to Van, we knock off our next major milestone as we purchase the teddy bear, completing the goal of buying all the child toys. Now, this bear is a special one. It blinks, stands up, and can move around just like a human would. That's not creepy at all. We end the day by going down to the dig site and digging up a hop ore and a gold coin to add to our collection. Day 122 starts on a somber note, as the carrots I was hoping would be ready for harvest died overnight. We get our first cutscene of the chapter as we run into Kay's room, and he shows us his precious treasure, a piece of driftwood. But he needs to run off to use the bathroom. At least we know that we properly potty trained him. On day 123, Knick Knack and Flack wake us up to a new chicken ready to be named. The Twitch chat decided that Tendies was the perfect name, since it's a rooster that will be sold anyways. We head on over to 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗹's house where he gives us the first special item, a pair of bongos named Tum Tum. If you show this to your child a lot of times in chapter 3, there's a higher chance that he becomes a musician. Of course, this video wouldn't be complete without humbling Patrick in a game of territory capture, so we go ahead and do that. We continue on the special item train on day 124, as we head over to Flora's to collect a special necklace. I think showing this to your child will increase their chance of being a scientist, but don't quote me on that. The next item on the chopping block is from Lumina, the music sheet. You guessed it, showing this one to your child will increase their chances of being a musician. We still have some dig site items to collect, so we head on down to the dig site and pick up a jade ball and the tablet for this chapter, Tablet E. We finish off the dig site items of chapter 3 on day 125 as we unearth the hip fossil. This is probably the last time we'll see Carter and Flora down here for a couple of years. On day 126, we're back in the kitchen making some recipes. We make a melon pie, an omelet, a gratin, a Meunier set, I don't know how to pronounce that, but here it is on the screen. Some pound cake, fruit juice, fruit punch, and a veggie cake. We make our first trip to Tartan of the chapter and make some second generation seeds, a 𝗂𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗶, a radita, potamello, and caper. Of course, we go ahead and upgrade these seeds with an upseed and a happy lamp so that we can plant them as S-rank seeds right now. Skipping past a boring day 127, day 128 begins with a milk drinking contest with Rock. This was the first minigame I ever played in A Wonderful Life when I was a kid, and it's nice remembering that it's just as hard now as it was when I was 10. After 60 seconds of button mashing, Rock wins, but I will not be deterred. I go right back in for a rematch, only for Rock to win again. We beat up on Patrick in territory capture to make ourselves feel a little bit better, but the sting of defeat will never truly go away until I get my revenge on that blonde-haired demon. We're back at Takakura's house on day 129 to get some more second-gen seeds from Tartan, In this trip, we receive seeds to make a 𝗏𝗏2, 𝗂𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗃, 𝗂𝗵𝗲, 𝗁𝗏𝗃, 𝗁𝗏, 𝗁𝗏, 𝗙𝗵𝗲, 𝗖𝗵𝗲, and 𝗂𝗀. This completes all the second gen crops and trees. As usual, I upgrade all of them to S rank and start planting the seeds that will grow in this season. Whilst planting, we're interrupted by Nick, Knack, and Flack, as Nova has finally given birth. In their infinite wisdom, the Twitch chat voted for the calf to be named Java with a little asterisk, as many chatters believe that this election was stolen. After the excitement of childbirth, nothing sounds better than a glass or two of milk. So we challenge Rock to another round of milk drinking. Unsurprisingly, Rock wins round 1, but on round 2, we finally get a leg up and end up putting away 9 of those little milk jug thingies, and we finally cop a W. Nothing important happened on day 130, so we start on day 131, the first day of summer, and plant the second gen crops that will finally grow during this season. We then head on over to Daryl's house and see a nice cutscene. He's trying to harness the power of the sun to fuel the entire world. Against our better judgment, we decide to stay and see what happens of this experiment. Of course, this experiment does not go well, and we leave without saying anything else to the mad scientist. We decide to end the day by drinking more milk with Rock. We need to skip a couple days to get to the next notable event on day 134. We finally have some star milk, so we make it into good butter and good cheese. You definitely don't need these for any recipes. Regular butter and cheese will do perfectly fine, but I'm an insane person and wanted to get every in-game item, so of course, I gotta get the good version. Tendies has finally matured on day 135, so we decide to sell him and place a fertilized egg back in the incubator. Fingers crossed this time, it's a hen. We're back cooking in the kitchen, and we whip up some fried mushrooms this time. To end the day, we go around picking up the happy lamps around the valley, because if you're gonna try this challenge yourself, it is super important that you get all of these every single year. Skipping ahead all the way to day 141, Java is finally ready to be moved out of the calf hutch and into the barn. This time around, I was actually able to keep a newborn animal from being sick. Go me. Of course, the first day of fall means planting the second gen seeds and watering them so that they can grow nice and healthy. We wake up on day 142 with yet another chicken needing a name. We get lucky and it's a hen this time around, so the Twitch chat voted on the name Pepper. Now that we're at capacity and have plenty of fertilized eggs, we sell off the rooster Kitty since his namesake approved this transaction. We finally decide to take the plunge and make some third gen tree seeds. And a fun fact about these seeds is that you get to name them yourself. You only have about 4 characters to work with, so you gotta be creative. So I let the Twitch chat name these, and we landed on the Beat, a Joel, an E-Star, a Gap, a Guck, a Meg, a Nut, and a Crack. Now, all these names have funny backstories, but I can't explain them all, and here in this video take way too long, so go check out the VOD's channel in the description, and go check out those videos. They definitely explain them a lot better than I can, and it's very, very silly why they are named what they are. We're back in the kitchen cooking up a sweet cocktail and some 𝗙𝗵𝗲 jam, and then we go ahead and upgrade all of those third gen trees to S rank, plant them in the orchard, and then go back into the kitchen and cook up some 𝗙𝗵𝗲 jam to end the day. On day 143, we wake up and all of the music discs are magically in our backpack. Now, I don't know how this happened, but if you leave a comment, I think we might be able to get to the bottom of this, just me and you chatting. Skipping ahead to day 145, we finally got some rain, so we head on down to Daryl's lab to catch another cutscene. This time around, he's looking to complete another mega project, filtering the rainwater to provide clean water to the village and the town over. Unfortunately, the only option we have is to run. I'm guessing that this experiment went about as well as his other ones, but I mean, Daryl's a nice guy. I mean, he's just trying to help out the world, so I'm hoping that his next experiment finally works. On day 146, we notice that Born's udders are finally pink, so we get to isolate her from the rest of the animals. I haven't shown you guys that we've been watering our crops, but rest assured, we are, and here is me watering the crops like I do every single day. Here we are on day 148, and we have another Daryl cutscene. This time, he intends to stop global warming by magically turning carbon dioxide, CO2, into oxygen, O2. We decide it's best to get out of there before he has the opportunity to kill us in a chemical fire. But we're right back at it on day 149 in Daryl's lair. This time around, his solution to landfill overcrowding is as simple as turning all that waste into usable electronic parts. Now, I don't know if this is possible, but I don't intend on sticking around to find out. However, our attempt to flee is stifled as Daryl forces us to watch his machine explode again. We finish the day in the kitchen, making a 𝗂𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗹 salad, smooth veggies, tempura, curry, tomatoma soup, stew, yam soup, and some rich juice. On the evening of day 150, all we really see is a sad Grant just sitting on the bench by the river. He must be sad knowing that this series is coming to an end. I am too. On day 151, Bourne finally gives birth. It's a calf that's going to be sold anyways, so I let the Twitch chat get a little crazy, and they cooked up the name Wagyu. Yes, you heard right. Wagyu. We begin day 152 by finishing up the final 3rd gen tree seed. We put a Magenge and a Majorum together with tartan and end up with what chat like to call a Mlem seed, which we then upgrade to S rank and plant to finish off the orchards. After doing some fishing, we catch another big Arna. It doesn't really matter, but anytime I catch something like this where I tried so hard to get it the first time, I have to bring it up. We finish the day by cooking up some Magenge jam and a strawberry cake. Skipping ahead to day 155, we're back where we left off in the kitchen, making some recipes. This time, we got a D-Bay cake. Myself and the chat decide it's finally time to sell Pepper. I don't know exactly why, considering I'm 99% sure Pepper was a hen that gives us eggs. But oh well, it's not a big deal. Eventually, we end up with 4 hens and the ducks to have a full poultry barn, and I'll end up showing you all the names at the end of the video. On day 157, we begin our journey into 3rd generation crop seeds. These aren't the tree fruit seeds. There's only 8 of those. I think there's about 24 or 23 of these, so it's a long journey. And we start with this light bulb looking plant. The Twitch chat liked the name Rolb, so it shall be named that. We press on with some more tartan hybridizing, and we end up with a poop seed for obvious reasons, a boom seed, because it looks like a bomb, a D seed, got him! An Ayo seed, and a Greg seed. Much like the tree fruits, these 3rd generation crop seeds are named by us, so again, if you want to know about why we name these things Greg seed or Ayo seed, just check out the VODs channel. On day 160, we find that we're all out of room in the barn, and we still need to buy a brown cow. So I have to ask the Twitch chat what we should do. We either have to kill 𝗵𝗵𝗋 the goat or sell one of our star cows. And chat has spoken. 𝗵𝗵𝗋 the goat will be sacrificed to the harvest goddess. As the clock struck midnight, we're ushered into day 161, the first day of year 5, where Wagyu is finally old enough to move into the barn. As soon as she made it into adulthood, she is sold off to the highest bidder. Goodbye, Wagyu. I hope you find a nice farm to live on where you don't end up getting slaughtered. Now that we have a free slot in the barn, we purchase the brown cow. Of course, we have to wait for her to arrive, so we finish the day in the kitchen by cooking up some earth soup and good soup. On day 162, our new brown cow has finally arrived, and of course, the Twitch chat gets to name it, and their vote, decided upon by 1 vote, is Chip, beating out Binkle. Skipping ahead to day 166, we're back making some 3rd generation crop seeds with tartan. In this round of hybridizing, we make the seeds for a rock plant and a Ouija plant. Day 167 is a sad, sad day. We said goodbye to 𝗵𝗵𝗋 the goat. Unfortunately, there's no humane way of getting rid of him in this version. You can't sell him, and it stops giving milk, so it really just takes up a spot in the barn. So he had to die so others could live. Rip 𝗵𝗵𝗋, you were the goat. We have to skip all the way to day 174 to get to the next important event, which is another round of 3rd generation crop hybridizing. Today, we make seeds for a ginge, thick, lonk, bread, and blad plants. Almost like we never left, we're back with Tartan on day 175 to make some more 3rd gen seeds. Today we make a 𝗏 seed and plant it with all the other 3rd gen seeds. Of course, we upgraded it with a happy lamp so it should grow in the season that it's not supposed to.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Can you guess what we're doing on day 177? That's right, more hybrids. Today we made seeds for a perp, doob, claw, pluddle, pickle, salt, and a perk. We upgrade all of these with happy lamps as well and plant them all in the big field. After a lot of attempts and failures, I learned that the final 3rd gen hybrid that we needed to make could only be made after 6 p.m. So we basically make a ginge plant, but after 6 p.m., it's a brand new 3rd generation hybrid. We named this one a 100%, as it's the last 3rd gen seed we'll ever have to make. Now hold your horses, Jack. Just hold them. Because on day 178, I learned something very sad. 3rd generation crops are really fickle. So not only do they need to be happy lamped to grow in each season, but they also need to be an S rank. So a lot of these guys that we just planted are going to end up dying and wilting anyways. So I'm gonna have to remake them. Of course, I won't force you guys to watch that process all over again, but it does make the challenge a little bit harder since we lost all that time. Skipping forward to day 183, whilst in the middle of a downpour, we showed Takakura an Ayo plant, aka an eggplant. Something he's never seen before, apparently. He asked if we want to show this in town, but we never get to answer that question. But fast forward to day 187, we enter the freezer building and get a cutscene. Takakura has left us a crop shipping bin, since someone wants to buy that weird crop that we showed him. Now we don't have to sell all of our crops and seeds to Van. Fun fact, I had no idea you were able to get the crop shipping bin in the original version of the game. I thought it was a special edition only or another Wonderful Life only mechanic, but you can get it. So if you're trying to complete this challenge just like I am, I will be adding that to the list of things you need to get. You need to get the crop shipping bin, you just have to. It's day 193. That's right, we skipped 7 days to see a Van diet cutscene. I had to show this one because apparently he's been running full speed into pillars just to lose weight. I mean, I'm sure it's not the pillars, it's probably the running and the getting up from the ground that's making him lose the weight, but of course we say, you know, keep doing your thing, Van. Good job, keep it up, pal. I felt that it was only right that I completely detail what we do on day 200. So we start by happy lamping a whole bunch of Ayo seeds. I do this because this 3rd generation crop acts as a sprinkler once the stalk rises. So once you water one of these crops, they will water the adjoining 8 squares around it. We harvest a salt and 𝗏 plant before tilling the big field in a way to maximize the use of these Ayo seeds. We then plant all of our crops that have been happy lamped or will grow in the spring, and then check on the chickens and large animals. After a quick mid-morning nap, we go back into the fields to water our newly planted crops and order a miracle potion for Chip. We finish the day by repopulating the seed maker and getting out some more plants to happy lamp tomorrow. This entire day is pretty much what all the skip days look like. Just a lot of watering, you know, animal taking care of. It's a lot of boring stuff that I didn't want to subject you guys to. So this is what all these skip days look like. Speaking of skipping a lot of days, we skip all the way to the last day of summer on day 220, where we're in the kitchen whipping up a sour cocktail and an orage drink. Orage? I don't know how to pronounce that. You can let me know in the comments how you would pronounce that. Moving right along, day 228 provides the moment we've all been waiting for. Chip is finally ready to be isolated. That means she'll be giving birth soon and we can finally get some brown milk for a couple recipes. That's right, only a couple recipes, but I'm excited. We have to fast forward all the way to day 234 when Chip gives birth. The chat decides that Chip's daughter should be named Choco. I was partial to naming this calf Obama, but I run a Democratic Twitch chat and them's the breaks. They didn't have the votes. I'm sorry, Obama. I'm sorry. The cutscene collector is back on day 239 as we see yet another Van weight loss scene. This time around, he's climbing to the top of Daryl's house and touching the electrical current to lose some weight. The money I would have paid to see a 3D rendering of this happening is, I can't even quantify how much I would pay for this. On day 241, we begin year 7 and chapter 4. In this new chapter cutscene, it looks like Kay is still on the artist path, as he seems to be interested in what Cody is doing. Muffy asks if Kay has the making of an artist, and I personally think he does. Of course, Cody's word is more important than mine, even though I'm his father, but Kay's all grown up into a teenager now, and I guess he's already getting on Muffy's bad side. Also, we get our own room. Finally, there's no more sleeping in the living room next to the TV. We get our own little area. Now that we've got a little salt and pepper in our hair, Wally decides to finally trust us with his gold medal. If we show this to Kay, it'll influence his growth in becoming an athlete. We also get a cutscene with Cody. Turns out he made a little sculpture for us, and he even provides delivery to our own house. He asks which room to put it in, and I decide on the living room. I feel like without the bed there, it needs a little something something. It's a pretty interesting looking sculpture, and our character agrees with that. A little villager update for all those curious on how the characters look in this new chapter. Nami's got a new fit, and Hugh looks like a delinquent. A new chapter, of course, means new dig site items. So we head on over and we unearth the strange item, the temple ore, and the tablet for this chapter, tablet F. Villager update number 2 for all you Chris lovers out there. She hasn't aged a day. It's day 242, and we begin with Nick, Nack, and Flack letting us know that Choco is finally old enough to be moved into the barn. We hit up the dig site and get the final item for this chapter, the strange fossil. Then head on over to Vans and haggle down a vase to 1500 G. Just like Cody, he provides free delivery and places it in our bedroom right next to the door that goes towards the kitchen. We're back getting cutscenes on day 245. We try to go into our son's room, but he kicks us out. I will not be denied the time with my son, so we go in again. But he's just as adamant that we're not allowed inside. Even though we built the room, we built the house, we built everything. What a little inconsiderate piece of Skipping ahead to day 253, Murray tells us he finally has enough money to go back to his village. He gives us a temple ore as a parting gift, and then he leaves the valley. But not before he has, quote, one last one for the road. I wonder what that means. Murray, what exactly do you plan to spend the money that I gave you on? What's one last thing? What is it? Tell me.
No, I don't think I will.
We get our answer on day 254 as Murray is already back in town. Apparently, he, quote, drank too much and spent all his money. Our guy seems pretty happy that he's back, but I wish he didn't spend all the money that we gave him to go back to his village on alcohol. I mean, if anyone's gonna be doing that, it's gonna be me. The rest of this chapter is spent watering, ranching, and sleeping, so we skip all the way to day 320, the beginning of chapter 5 and year 8. In this new chapter cutscene, Muffy wonders if Kay is interested in farm work. We answer, he might be, but he seems like he likes art. She says that he should do whatever he likes, even if he doesn't want to be a farmer like we are. In the narrative, we fast forward a couple more years, and Kay's all grown up. He's out of his teenager phase. He's an adult now. He even agrees to help us out on the farm, even though he loves art. On day 321, we head on down to the dig site to get the final dig site items. We unearth the tablet, tablet G, and the stone disc. Of course, we didn't have enough time on day 321, so we're right back down in on day 322, picking up the last 2 items we need, the Prosper ore and the back fossil. Day 323 is filled with making recipes, so buckle in. It's gonna be a long one. We start with desserts. We make a short tart, pulp tart, super yam, tropical punch, dancing dessert, regular ice cream, Cadbury ice cream, fruit juice, good juice, juice DX, veggie juice, and battle juice. Onto the entrees, and we whip up a fish set, bean bowl, baked totaro, fried totaro, mixed veggies, and rutabaga. Rutabaga? I don't know how to pronounce that, but you let me know how you pronounce it in the comments. Hors d'oeuvres are next up, and we end up with some shiny tempura, shiny stir fry, red hot pie, regular tempura, fried nuts, and fried veggies. Onwards to the salads. This time we make a red veggie, a melon salad, egg salad, mellow salad, pickles number 1, pickles number 2, a D-base salad, a rare salad, shiny salad, fruit salad, pot-of-milk salad, and a red salad. This incredibly long day of recipes finally comes to an end with soups. We make the good soup, rare stew, potato soup, and 𝗂𝗵𝗲𝗶𝗶 soup. Of course, I didn't have every ingredient that I needed, so day 324 means we have more recipes to fix up. We make a mixed fry, veggie pasta, hot curry, mushroom pasta, good for you soup, and super soup. Skipping ahead a week, we get another cutscene with Kay on day 331. He asks if Kate and Hugh like each other. We answer that we think so. He doesn't know what to do at that point, so we tell him not to give up and win her over. Of course, 𝗵𝗲 interrupts our father-son bonding time and correctly guesses that Kay likes Kate, and that Kay is also worried about Hugh. She tells him to go after Kate and become a man, if you know what I mean. He says he just needs to become a cool guy, just like me, and apparently everybody's surprised that my son thinks I'm cool. And of course, 𝗵𝗲 left the stove on, so she goes off to turn it off, I guess. Speaking of leaving the stove on, we're back to recipe making on day 339. Don't worry, this is the last of the 86 recipes we need to make, and we finish this batch with some good pickles, an adult salad, and the mountain bowl. We need to fast forward all the way to day 344 to get the next cutscene as Marlon finds us wandering around as usual. I think he's been watching us. He invites us over for a drink after work at 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃, but 𝗙𝗵𝗃 is angry because Marlon hasn't got the carrot she's asked for. As he goes to grab it, 𝗙𝗵𝗃 makes it known that you can't trust a man to do a job quickly. I disagree, but Marlon says he can't go for a drink anymore and he thinks 𝗙𝗵𝗃 is becoming more like Vesta. And we plan to get a drink sometime later. I guess Marlon had a pretty busy week of work because we finally get to have that drink on day 351. While having a couple cold ones at 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃's, Marlon mentions that women are creatures of change and that they no longer, quote, bow to our every whim. That's a yikes, if you ask me, Marlon, but he asks us if 𝗵𝗲 has changed, and of course we say she's as good as ever. Then 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃 drops some sweet knowledge for us young folk. Are we young still? I don't know. But anyways, it leaves Marlon speechless. I mean, I agree with 𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃, but I mean, I guess Marlon's kind of, you know. It's finally day 360, and we move into the final year and chapter of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. 𝗵𝗲 asks us some weird nonsense about round objects looking square. I personally think this is like a funny hit at, like, look at these 3D polygons. They look square, and it's supposed to be a circular object. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But anyways, our character's dumbfounded, so we go to a flashback of Kay asking 𝗵𝗲 the same exact question. She thinks he's on drugs or something like that, but it's only a silly art thing with Cody. Flash forward, and as you can see, we're getting pretty old. We got the gray hair, and we got the smile lines, we got everything, but 𝗵𝗲 still looks great. Kay also helps out around the farm. He doesn't really do anything helpful, like he doesn't fill the troughs with food or take care of the chickens, but I mean, it's the thought that counts, right? We have to fast forward all the way to day 381, where we get a cutscene where Kay asks us if we need a bath. Of course, 𝗙𝗵𝗃 being amazing translators, our answer is yes, and he still suggests a steam bath anyways. Of course, we take him up on his offer, and some father-son bonding time ensues. He brings up that my hands look smaller than his and that it's probably because he's grown. And of course, he lets us know to take care of ourselves. This might be one of my favorite cutscenes in the entire game. It just really establishes that time does move forward. Our son grows up, we get older, and time really takes a toll on us. It's really sad, but it makes the game feel real. I don't know. Moving on to day 383, we get a cutscene that I don't have on my list or I haven't seen in any video. It's this cool moment where Van and Romana are just around her living room looking at stuff, and they see this beautiful picture on Romana's wall. Van really wants to buy it, but Romana insists that it's the one object that she would never sell. Van leaves the villa and says he'll be back with some more money, so I'm guessing he can buy it. But it turns out that this is actually a painting Lumina made. We then see another cutscene where Sebastian and Lumina are having a little chat, where she asks Sebastian for a favor. Then Sebastian just leaves the villa. He doesn't even say anything. He's just out of here. But we're a little nosy, so we end up following him. We end up next to the goddess pond, where we see Sebastian and 𝗵𝗲𝗰𝗶 standing off. Sebastian decides to attack, and they come to blows. But Sebastian ends up getting knocked out or something, and turns out he just wanted a paintbrush made of 𝗵𝗲𝗰𝗶 fur, which is really silly. Jumping up to day 398, we prepare for the end of days. We start by cleaning off all the animals, and then head over to the freezer where I show off all 86 recipes. We then go over to the ledger and show that I did sell one of every 3rd generation crop. Unfortunately, you can only sell 3rd gen crops using the shipping bin, which is really stupid, but I did sell one product of every 1st and 2nd gen crop to Van. Off we go to the storage closet where I can confirm that I have at least 2 S-rank seeds of every possible crop, all the possible music discs, every dig site item, and 4 gift items. I was never able to get the firework from Patrick, but I don't even know if it's possible in this version. Every video that I've seen with the firework is either in the special edition or Another Wonderful Life. But let me know. I mean, if you were able to get it in the original edition of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, leave a comment and you can show me that I'm wrong. On day 399, we take our final trip down to hang out with Carter and Flora at the dig site, and then take one last W from Patrick in territory capture. Rock is ready for another milk drinking contest, but we're way too old to beat him and he's had a lot of practice with this. So instead, we drink a lot of stuff at the bar. It is day 400, the final day, and we begin with watching the sunrise at Galen's house. We then clean Nina's grave and have one last chat with her before we see her in the great beyond. We head up to the villa and talk to Romana, Lumina, and Sebastian. Talk to Wally and Grant around town, and they've aged just as much as we have. We feed and take care of our chickens, give Otis and Zuko their final egg, and cook up an adult salad and ice cream, the final meal that we will prepare for Muffy. Of course, we can't end the playthrough without seeing Murray steal some more food from us. We head on down to the inn and chat with Tim and Ruby, and then win our final milk drinking contest against Grant. We take out our fishing rod and catch one last rainbow down by the bridge, and turn that into a good soup for Kay. Of course, he doesn't want his father's cooking, so we hand it over to our partner in crime, Takakura. We say goodbye to Tartan, and give all of our large animals one last brush and cuddle. We take a trip down to the goddess pond, say goodbye to 𝗵𝗲𝗰𝗶, and then give the large animals some good fodder, since we don't need it anymore. We give Kay one last jug of S-rank star milk as a parting gift, then go talk to Knick Knack and Flack. As we take one last final look at the status book, we see the end screen of our farm. The family consists of me, Jack, Muffy, and Kay. Of course, we have all the buildings. Bessie, Deluxe, Cactus, Nova, Born, Choco, Java, and Chip are the survivors in the barn. Rip Beppis, by the way, you're a legend. In the chicken coop, Juniper, Roberta, Usagi, Chip, Joanna, and Doug survive. And finally, our 2 pets, Otis and Zuko. We share a few more words with Kay and Muffy, and then take Deluxe down to the ocean and enjoy our final seconds as the calendar switches over to Spring 1. The final cutscene begins as Muffy comes to the bedroom, and we let her know that she still looks pretty after all of these years. A few days later, we won't wake up, and Kay runs down to get Dr. Hardy, where he has to deliver some sad news. Celia, Nami, Murray, Carter, and Griffin gather down at the bar and reminisce about their lost friend. Fast forward an unknown amount of time, and we learn that Kay has decided to become an artist. Kay ends up leaving the house in the middle of the night to go be an artist or something, leaving Muffy to discover that she's all alone in a note. Muffy then decides to take up the mantle of the farmer and continues running the farm with Takakura, who can't retire because we went and died on him. I'm so sorry, Takakura. You really deserve that retirement, dude. Of course, we end the game with Takakura looking out on the very beach that we had our last couple moments. Hey everybody, it's Unscripted Jack here. I thought I should just take a moment out of this final video to thank you personally for 1, watching this video, and 2, watching all the other videos that I've ever made, especially parts 1 and 2 of this 100% series. If you go back to my first video and that accompanying video of like how to 100% AWL, I feel like I've done everything on that list. I think I've seen all the cutscenes that I originally set out to. I got all the items that I wanted to. But as I continued on, as I actually got viewers and Twitch chatters that were like, hey, you should try to get this, you should try to get this thing, you should try to see this cutscene, I definitely had to add stuff to that list. And in the course of that, I missed some cutscenes. I think I missed a couple of in-game items. So I'm officially calling this the 99.99% run. There's just, I feel, no way to completely see every cutscene, get every item in one playthrough. There's just so many that, 1, weren't even on my list to begin with, and 2, that I just stumbled upon, like randomly, just trying to like get a cutscene. Like I was like, oh, maybe there's a cutscene if I go in here, and there was. So I felt like I did a pretty good job, and if you try this challenge yourself, I feel like you'll come to the same conclusion. It's really tough to see everything and get every item. But anyways, I felt that it was important that I take a moment out of this video and just thank everybody who's ever commented, liked a video, watched a video, subscribed, been in the Twitch channel, watched live. Now that this series is over and the remake is coming out super soon, it's just... It's a chapter. It's a closing point in this part of my life as a person and this channel. Like I started this series with 0 subscribers, literally none, 0 Twitch followers, maybe 1 or 2 because I streamed before I played this, but you know, nothing to write home about. And now that I'm done with it, it's crazy. We're up to 5,500 YouTube subscribers, a little bit more, I think, by the time I get this video out. 1,500 Twitch followers at least, and a huge Discord that I never intended to make, just full of awesome, passionate Harvest Moon fans. Not even Harvest Moon fans, just amazing people that are all brought together by the same game. And that's the one thing that I can take most out of this, is that this community, Harvest Moon, you know, farming sim people like you that watch this video, are just so incredibly inclusive and amazing and welcomed me with open arms, and I try to pay it forward and welcome others into the community with that exact same, you know, positivity and inclusivity. So I'm just incredibly thankful for all of you who watch the video, join the Discord, are in Twitch chat, and are just make this community so amazing. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, maybe another like 100% of a different game that I've never played, like Animal Parade or Hero Leaf Valley, or just any game, just, you know, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, that helps. Leave a comment of a game that you want to see me play in the future. Just a reminder, the remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, that's the name of the game, comes out on June 27th. It's coming out real soon. And I'll be streaming my first ever time playing it on twitch.tv/JackDuckGoose. That link is in the description. Check it out. Follow if you want to. I'll probably be starting that stream around like 8 Central Standard Time on June 27th. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to, once again, let you guys pick names, see what we like, let you guys pick what we do, how the game progresses, how the story progresses. It's all up to you guys. So if you want to be there, great. If you don't and you just want to watch a video that I make out of it, that's great too. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.